everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth, and if you are new here, I have 3 kiddos, a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an 18-month-old. And I just kind of wanted to get on here real quick and do a 2020 recap and kind of my expectations for 2021 so far in dealing with life and like our homeschool and things like that. Now, I know what everyone's going to say, like, oh, 2020 is gone, that's great. Like, I think that there were definitely challenges in 2020, and I'm not minimizing people's challenges or their sufferings or anything like that. But I do think that there were a lot of great things that also happened in 2020. I think that because of everything, I think a lot of people got to rediscover maybe old hobbies that they had, or discover new hobbies. I've heard of lots of people taking up new interests, and I think that's great too. But I think one of the big things, especially for me and my family, was that our family time increased. And I'm not really sure how that happened, because as a homeschooling family, and thankfully we were blessed that my husband didn't get laid off of work or anything, our lives weren't really that changed by like the shutdown and everything. But somehow we did spend a lot more time as a family, intentional time. I'm not just saying like in the same house, but like intentional family time. And I I feel that has made a huge impact on every aspect of our homeschool, of our family, of our kids, my marriage too. And so I want to take that idea of intentional family time, and I want to just like spew it forward for like the rest of the time that we have our kids, like forever. And that it takes work and it takes planning and all of that, but I mean, wow, we were like watching movies and playing games and like talking and going on walks and going to the park, and it was great. And I really don't want that to end in 2021. And so that's kind of like for me one of the big takeaways. Like, yes, bad stuff happened in 2020. I'm not saying it didn't, but a lot of good happened too. And for my family, that was probably one of the most tangible, just like in your face, obvious benefits for everything, is that we got to spend a lot more time, intentional time, as a family. And it was really cool to see just, I don't know, the attitudes of my children changed towards us and towards each other. And I think some of the beliefs about like themselves changed as well. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but when you spend more time, intentional time as a family, I think that there are changes there for the better that happen. So that was good. And for the most part in 2020, our homeschool went well. The end of last year was rocky in some subject areas, and if you've watched any of my videos before, you definitely know why that was. But our homeschool journey so far, for the beginning of this school year in 2020, it was great. It's been going really well. And so again, I feel blessed that our homeschool wasn't too much disrupted. Of course, you know, there were field trips that I had planned that got canceled, and that was a bummer. But there's always the hope of another day, I guess. But I'm not going to say that I'm just like magically wishing everything in 2021 is going to get better. I don't have any of these delusions that like just because it's a new year, things are just going to magically get awesome again. I think there's going to be a lot of time still that we are faced with these really difficult situations. And so for field trips and things, I'm not really hoping too much as far as like, will places be open, or you know, all of these really cool things. I'm planning, and I'm just gonna kind of put them in the planner and see where that goes. But I'm not like hinging my whole homeschool experience on field trips. That's definitely something that I had to learn like this whole year, is like experiences now aren't what homeschool can be about as far as like on a public scale. I think you can definitely go for nature studies in the park. I mean, that's great. Those are awesome ways to definitely tie in experience to your homeschool. But all that aside, it's just going to be interesting planning kind of like field trips into your learning. And so I do hope to do that in 2021. I'm really looking forward to it, but I'm not going to say I won't be surprised if none of it happens. So I'm just going to leave that there and y'all can think what you want. So let's see, recap for 2020. Oh yes. So this year, now many of you know that we do homeschool year round. So we start in July, the middle of July, and we're usually done by the end of like April or like mid-May. And that's because we rarely take breaks. We follow the 6 weeks on, 1 week off pattern throughout the school year. And so we do have like very short 1 week breaks, kind of like here and there. But this year, I really wanted to, again, maximize and I want to say exploit, and I'm not using that in a negative term, but exploit the time that my husband had off to our advantage as a family. So my husband works at the university level, and so he had about 2.5 to 3 weeks off of work. And we took a vacation, and that was awesome. I'm not going to go into too much detail because, I mean, you guys probably aren't interested. If you are, you can ask me anything that you want to know. But we went to Disney World for 2 days. By the way, Disney World is super expensive right now. I'm still going to keep going because I'm a huge Disney fan, but that's only why we went for 2 days. It was pretty tough for a family of 5 to go. Well, I guess 4 because my daughter is still under the age limit. Anyway, that's not important. Anyway, so we went to Disney and it was really awesome, but if any of you have been to Disney, you know that you kind of have to take like a second vacation when you come back from Disney to kind of recover. There's so much walking and waiting and standing and just, it was crazy. Everything was fine. I felt safe. I felt comfortable. There was no worry there. I'm very impressed with everything that Disney World has done in order to keep, all of the distancing and everything like that. But we walked a lot. And for kids, that's a lot. It's tough. And so we had to take the whole week when we got back, the whole week. We didn't do anything. We put our Christmas stuff away. We took down the tree and we watched lots of movies. And I am not a huge fan of like screen time, but it has its place. And when you come back from Disney is definitely one of them. So, having said that, we had a great vacation, but we needed another week after that to kind of decompress, and we needed time to get ready for the new year, the new school year, the new part of the school year. And so that's what that week was. So we took a 3-week break at Christmas time, and that was crazy. We've never taken that long of a break in the middle of our homeschool, ever. This is our 3rd year homeschooling, and we've never done it. The longest break that we took was after our first year of homeschooling. I was pregnant, and I gave birth like 2 weeks after we finished our homeschool year. So we took that whole summer and even some more time after that to just be a family and to get used to having a 3rd kid in the mix. And that was, again, our longest break up till our break in 2020. So it was hard to get back to it. It was hard to get back to the swing of things. Yesterday was our first day back to school, and we are only doing 2 subjects this week to kind of slowly ease into everything. And I'm glad that we did, because yesterday took forever, to put it nicely. The kids were just dragging, and they weren't ready for it. They were tired, and they were just complaining. Look, y'all, you know what it's like to come back from a break and have your kids be like that. So it took us a long time to get school done. But I'm not necessarily saying that was a bad thing. Breaks are good, and I think that breaks are necessary. But I'm the kind of person that once I start something, I don't like to break. I don't like to stop. And so even the small 1-week breaks where we do the 6 weeks of schooling, and then like the 1 week break, that's really hard for me to do. And there's been times when I kind of just blow through it, and then like 10 weeks, we've been doing school for 10 weeks, and it's like, we should probably take a break at some point. But other than that, man, breaks, like after this 3-week break, coming back was hard, but I definitely see the rejuvenation in my spirit, in my desire to homeschool, and all of that. And so I can see the definite benefits from taking a break. So I think maybe going forward in 2021, maybe I'll take breaks more seriously. We'll see. I can't make any promises though, because again, I hate taking breaks. Once you get in a good rhythm, you just want to keep that rhythm, and breaks definitely break, pun intended, break that rhythm. And so, not to make this video like super long or anything, but I think 2020 was a really great year, and I know 2021 is going to have its challenges, definite challenges, and new, like adapting to things. And I just think that's going to be the way of life from now on. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't necessarily think it's a good thing either. It's just, I hate to say it, but it's what it is. And so we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing and leaving everything else up to the Lord, because that's really the only thing that you can do. When everything is kind of uncertain right now, He's the only one that we can really place our trust in. And so that's what we continue to do. And I just really appreciate everyone who has taken their time, either in this video or any other video, to watch me. I don't really think that I have anything interesting to say, but I like making these videos just in case there's anyone out there like me who can support me, and we can kind of support each other and just encourage one another, because I think there needs to be more of that anyway. But, you know, it's just fun to kind of get my ideas out there, and let's let that be that. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will be back with another video pretty soon. And I hope everyone had a great new year and is kind of getting back into the swing of things in 2021. Bye, guys.